Hi there. Welcome to the performance and tutorials of all the tricks out of the Marvin's Treasured Magic Kit. So the first trick we're going to start with is one that I've entitled the Escaping Blocks. Okay, I have a little toy box, and in my toy box I have a bunch of blocks. Okay, I'm also going to use my magic wand out of the kit for this. But what I want to do first is I want to talk about the blocks. You'll notice that there are 6 colors. All right, I use these for stacking and for building with, right? Certain things you can do with blocks. I love blocks. However, I have to tell you that every time I put my blocks away, every time I clean up my mess, what happens is I put them away for the night, and 2 of them always escape. Sometimes it's 1, but usually it's 2. And I could never figure it out because the box closes. So then I took a rubber band and I closed the box, and they still escaped. So then I couldn't figure it out. So I took a drill. I drilled a hole all the way through, and that way I could hold the blocks just like this inside the box. Now they couldn't get out. It's like they were trapped. It's like a jail for blocks or something. But what happened is they still escaped. Now, I never know which one is going to escape. I never know. It's different colors all the time. But I found out that my kids of my audience, they knew, they figured it out. So I'm going to ask you guys to help me, okay? Billy, would you do me a favor? Pick any 2 colors here. I have yellow, red, orange, green, white, and blue. Which 2 colors would you like to see escape? White and green, they're together. All right, very good. So I don't know, we'll just see if those 2 would be the ones to escape. So I'm going to pick some other helpers. Let's see. Alice, would you do me a favor? Tell me which color I should put in the block first. I want you to think that it's not a, it's not a certain color. The blue. Okay, so we're going to put the blue in the box first. Jamal, which color would you like to pick? The green. Oh, you want to do it right away? Okay, we're going to do the green. Next color, the red. All right, very good. How about Mark? Which color would you like? The white. Okay, very good. So the green and the white, remember, the ones that are supposed to escape. What's next? Frank, the yellow. Very good. And Sally, which one would you like? Well, I guess there's only one left. Very good. Now what I have to do is I have to put the lock in. Very good. And I'm going to close it up. Now can you see the colors? All right, many different colors in here, right? They're locked in. Now what happened is I would put these to bed, I would go to sleep, and 2 would escape. But here in my shows, I need a magic word. Can everybody wave your hands and say abracadabra? Abracadabra. Very good. I'm not sure. We're just going to see. Wait a second. Wait a second. How did you guys do that? That was pretty good. Hey, have a great day. And don't forget to read the Abracadabra books. The first one is The Desperate Magician. Okay, it's about a kid who is a little older and he's kind of in trouble. So the kids from the Abracadabra Club have to help him with their magic stuff. Okay. As you can see, this original video was made for a kids website for a book that I wrote called The Abracadabra Club. It's a series of books about kid magicians who solve mysteries with their magic, right? Hardy Boys mysteries kind of things with Magic Club things. And it's a way to teach kids magic, and I wanted them to embrace it. So I came across this magic kit and I recommended it, and I created tutorials, and that's been up for maybe 1.5 years now, and I get about 200 views a month on that of people learning magic for kids. But this is also what I'm going to use to teach you how to do magic yourself, and I'm going to show you why. This particular trick really teaches us a lot about today's magic world. The old magic world was all about sleight of hand, right? Cards, and there is still a ton of card stuff that's all about sleight of hands, coins, flowers, doves, all of that kind of stuff.
Today's magic is all about technology, engineering, and equipment. This is an amazing feat of technology in one little wooden structure that's sold in a kit where this is one of 8, all right, for $30. Why is this amazing magic technology? Because it is built to automatically do the trick. Everything is engineered. The size of the blocks, the size of the holes, the magic wand. It's all engineered to make the trick work simply and easily, but to be completely invisible to the audience. We call that a gimmick. Any tool that is either remains hidden or it's built into something that looks regular, that looks solid, that looks normal, but allows us to do the trick, we call that a gimmick. There are all different kinds of gimmicks, but this is one of them, and this is why I love this set of tricks so much. This is never going to probably break. I could probably use this until I die. This is sturdy, it's colorful, it's beautiful. All right, so let's talk about it and how it works. Okay, so I brought my magic table up here so that I can use it and show you how it works. So this is how it works. Notice how these blocks fit in perfectly just like this, right? No place to go. And when you put the magic wand in there, it goes right through the hole, just like that, right? So we use a thing in magic called the law of 3, right? The rule of 3. I showed this 3 times. I showed it once with just the blocks. I put it back in. I showed it a second time with the blocks. I also showed it a third time with the blocks locked in. All right, absolutely nailing that in the minds of the audience. Because when you see a pattern once, you start to recognize it. When you see a pattern a second time, you immediately know the pattern. That's the way our brains work. When you see a thing the third time, normally that's when you make the change. I like to do the third view of it with the kids just to reinforce the idea that these blocks are going back in. All right. Now what happened was I had the kid pick 2 blocks, green and white. I put them back in one at a time. The first one I started out and showed like that, and that gives you the image that it's going to continue exactly the way the pattern you've memorized is. But what happens is when I put the green block in, I stood it up against the wall. Then I put another color in on top of that. All right, and when you do that, I had to kind of tip it. I had to kind of tip it like this so that it didn't drop, right? So that it didn't fall, because I was giving kids the option to choose the colors. Then when I put the other white one in, that's what I did. That's why this technology is perfect. They can either go horizontal or they can go vertical, and they're exactly the same size when they do that. Then I add the other 2, just like this and just like this. Now, when I insert the magic wand, they're not holding these 2. The wand is not holding these 2. But when I don't show that to the kids and I only show them the colors, it looks like the pattern that they already figured out in their mind. The pattern that they know is the pattern that they see, or the pattern that they see. So that's why this set of tricks is so crazy good. Imagine the technology to design that and to build that so well. Now, when I tip it, they fall out, right? And I can show that the other blocks are still locked in. That's crazy easy, but it's the technology that makes it so easy, and that's why this kit is so powerful. All right, so there's a couple of things you need to know, but not many, in order to do this trick. Okay, number 1, you want to have something that you can lay the blocks out on, right? So what I do, what I did in my shows was I brought out like a TV tray kind of thing that had a rim around it so that your food wouldn't fall off. And I would pour the blocks onto the tray, but I'd have a kid hold it. The kid would hold the tray, and I would do all of that to show it all, right? Then I'd have the actual helper pick the two colors. Let's say they picked green and white. I'd have everybody else, I'd pick other kids in the audience to tell me what colors to put in. Doesn't matter what color to put in. Now, if they don't pick the two colors you want side by side, you just hold it up. You're not showing this, but it enables you to then load it side by side whenever your two colors come in right. And you have to put the magic wand in before you show it, okay? Now here's another little quick bit. Can you see the cutout of that magic wand? So that cutout is for another trick. It's for a card trick, all right? But if you put that cutout in first, it's gonna get caught on the blocks a little bit. So just put the other end, the other side that doesn't have the cutout, and keep that hidden under your hand, all right? Once I insert it, then I can close it. I can show it around. I always want to make sure though that the opening is facing towards the audience. And the reason being that when I open it, it's going to block how they are before they fall out. Like if I open this now, they'll see it. They'll see that they're lined up wrong. But if I tip it, they fall out before they see that. And then I can just bring it around, shake it like that, and they'll see that the other ones are still locked. Okay? So it's not just the workings of the mechanics, right? It's also the story. So I will include in the description a link to the PDF of the script that I wrote. You can learn it and use it exactly as I wrote it. The escaping blocks overnight, they get away. Or you can write your own script, right? That's really what I'm going to do when I eventually teach you how to do your own magic, is take the original script and write it to your own. Write your own script version of it, okay? But there has to be a reason why you locked them up. That's why, because they were escaping. And there has to be a way that the kids know which colors escape. The kids pick them. Again, I like to make the kids the magicians. So that's pretty much it, right? So let's start it off again. I'll kind of walk through it, and you can go back and watch the performance again. All right, first you line up. So literally, I would keep this in my kit just like this, ready to go. If the wand is out, still they're ready to go. I could put a rubber band around this to keep it nice and safe. All right, but I like to have the wand in it when I bring it out. I'll take the wand out, set it on the tray, set it out of the way. Whoops. Set it that way. Now when I open it up and dump the blocks out, they get that vision of them in a row. I like to spread them out to show the colors. I like to put it back in while I'm talking about the story of how two would escape. I put them back in and I let them see me. I like to show it every time. And the reason being that they will create that pattern in their mind. All right, two escaped. All right, then I do it again. One more time, put them all back in. Show them each time. This gives you the ability, when they think about it later, they'll think about how you showed it to them, even though the last time you didn't show it to them. Now I open it up and I show them how they're locked in. They can't get out. Right? And then I have the kids pick the color. What two colors do you want? Oh, green and white. Okay, now when I put them back in, I ask the audience, what color? Red? Okay, we'll do red. And if they do not pick a green or white the first time, I'll show that off. Let's do blue. Okay, now I'm not showing it. Well, I can show it as long as they haven't picked the two colors. Green. Okay, let's say white. Now, as long as I don't show it now, I don't give it away, right? But they're going to think that you're doing it in exactly the same stack they've seen before. All right, I'm going to make sure that the opening is facing the audience. I try to point out all the colors. I mean, even say the colors, because that gives them the visual representation that they're still in a line. Then when they say the magic word, they drop out. And I can show that the rest are still locked in. Then I give the kids a big clapping hand of applause, and off they go. So I hope you understand why this trick is so cool. This box is so cool because these are manufactured beautifully. They're sanded, they're stained so that they won't, so that they don't fade. The colors are beautiful. So they stay good, they stay preset, they're ready to go, and you can actually use them in your shows. Really a big value when it comes to magic stuff, okay? But again, what did you learn here? You learned that the gimmick is what's important. You learned to create a pattern with the rule of 3. You learned to create the story. You learned how to present this, how to hold the props and how to present it, right? So all of that stuff is in this one trick, and it's a very basic starter trick. If you've got the kit, you're ready. If you don't have the kit, buy it now. It's in the link, right? And also, there's a link to my book. I'll also link the Abracadabra books in case you want to buy them for your kids. Because I think it's going to help kids get excited about learning magic again. Anyway, my coaching site is on there, and I am going to keep uploading this. So I'm going to work as fast as I can to get all of these Marvin's Magic tricks up. It shouldn't take me too long, but once they're up, it'll be here where you can learn magic from the get-go, all the way through to where you have a show. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you help spread love and fun and joy, and I'll see you on the next video.